In this episode,
So you were telling me, Jerry, that you are thinking about going into the army, and I'm I want to know if that's a selfish thing to do. Would it make you feel better to protect them?
Definitely, yeah.
So it's good for you. Does that make it selfish then?
Okay. Um, huh.
Welcome to another episode of the Selfishness Project, where we explore the idea of selfishness. Today I am here with
Gerardo.
Gerardo.
Jerry. You can call me Jerry.
Jerry? Okay, so Jerry is off camera. He doesn't want to be on camera for this, and I told him that was fine. So you were telling me, Jerry, that you are thinking about going into the army, and I want to know if that's a selfish thing to do. I mean, there's a big risk involved. It could be a very dangerous profession, obviously, and often we hear people say, like, people in the armed forces, they make such a sacrifice. They make the ultimate sacrifice sometimes if they happen to lose their lives in battle. So it's a very unselfish thing to do. Do you think of it that way? Does it seem unselfish to you?
It depends on what you go for.
Hold a little closer.
It depends on why you join. As a child, whenever I used to think of the military, I used to think of people who would join because they didn't want to make the ultimate sacrifice. They wanted to protect their country, and they were willing to die in order to do so. I do think in that way it is an unselfish sacrifice.
Okay. Let me see if I can paint it in a way that makes it look selfish. You are doing, when you are in the military, you are trying to, at least if you're in the United States military, it might be different for other countries, but here we have freedoms like the freedom of speech and the various rights in the Bill of Rights, and you are helping protect the system of freedom, the land of liberty. If the Statue of Liberty is a symbol of what this country is about, you are helping protect this nation that is a free place, and it's good for you to have a free country. So is it self-interested in a way to fight in order to preserve that free country which you benefit from?
Well, I've always thought of it as protecting the whole. Whenever I think about joining, I never think I just want to protect myself and my family. I always think the entire country, all the people that benefit. There are over 300 million people in America, and you joining is going to, in the end, help every single one of those individuals. So I see it as helping just the whole, I guess.
Okay. So not yourself.
Yeah, I never really thought of it as me joining just for my own self-interest.
Okay.
If this country's ever attacked, if I were to go out in the battlefield the rest of my life, and I joined the army, I wouldn't be thinking I'm doing this just for me, just for my freedom of speech. I would be thinking about every single person I know back home.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there are plenty of people out here that I don't know who have families, that they love just like I do, and I would see it as trying to protect them as well.
Okay. Would it make you feel better to protect them?
Definitely, yeah.
So it's good for you.
Yeah.
Does that make it selfish then?
Huh. I guess you could say that in that way it is in my self-interest to help others because I personally would benefit from that. Is that what you're trying to get?
It's one way to look at it.
So let's see, self-interest, the definition of self-interest is, can you reiterate that?
That's a good question. Yeah, what is the definition? If it just means doing something, if self-interest is what is good for yourself, then would it be in your self-interest to engage in this occupation because you are doing something that's good for yourself in the sense that it's giving you some kind of satisfaction. It makes you feel good to help these other people out.
Yeah, you can see it that way, but at the same time, you can also say it's bad for yourself because you might go out and die, and you're gonna sacrifice that for other people. So, in a way, you could say it's not you're doing it even in spite of your self-interest.
Okay, so maybe there's a way to look at it where it seems self-interested, and another way to look at it where it does not seem self-interested.
Let's say somebody, for example, somebody goes to battle and they die. That's they die for others. You know, you're not really doing something that serves your interests if you die, right?
Well, I think maybe even if you die, you could be doing, like you've heard the phrase "give me liberty" or "give me death." You might think it's, even though you die, you were trying to do something that made your life worth living. So that if you didn't have that freedom, you would rather be dead than live as a slave.
Yeah.
So just because you die doesn't necessarily mean you were doing something that was not good for you in fighting for your freedom.
Yeah, that is true.
So yeah, I think that's a yeah. So that's one way to look at it, and we can think about, is that the right way? If we had more time, we could discuss more about it. I know you got to catch a bus, and I don't want to sacrifice your interests to mine here. So we'll bring it to a close, and thanks for your time.
Okay, thank you.
All right.